Hey, and welcome everybody. We are here at Pantheon again. We're going to be doing some more Halnir's Cave. Sorry for the little bit of a late start, if anybody was waiting on us. Good to see you all.
Yes. Own it.
And Rad, thanks again for offering to be person out of group.
I'm happy to help.
Oh, wise and powerful enchanter.
He's been playing with us on EQ too. You were on EQ yesterday, Teaser.
Yeah, I was finishing up some achievement stuff that I was working on.
What level are you now?
69 and a half.
Nice.
Trying to decide, do I continue working on the achievements or should I just try and get XP?
I would say keep doing it. Like, do the Paragon stuff. That's like you're right at the level to start doing that.
What is
Give
that?
you, well, there are quest lines that you can do and like at your level range that have really good items, but it just kind of gives you a sense of direction through that.
I'm stuck. I'm at
Stuck on the terrain again, yeah. I'm starting to have serious inventory problems in EverQuest, so just hoarding too much stuff.
The Hunter and the Paragon stuff will give you bags. Big bag.
I had inventory problems. Then I completed 3 hunter quests. Problem solved.
Okay, I gotta look that up because I have no idea what that is.
Well, I think it'll be pretty tough for a 69 to finish.
I don't think you do it at 69. The hunter quests that give you bags probably start at like 100s.
But like the next Hunter raid, regardless of level, you should probably join and get the bags.
Oh yeah. 48 slot bag, that's just crazy.
Bez can make some good bags too. And he'd probably do it for you out of the kindness of your heart, his heart.
20 slot bags if you can use those.
I know.
What I need to
used
do is stop
bag
hoarding.
too. Oh, that's easier said than
That's
done.
another thing.
You do have a dragon horde too. That's a nice little bottomless pit.
It's got a bottom. It's almost full.
He found it.
But I haven't like spent a lot of money to make it bigger, and I have the basic. But it's still like 150 slots or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, here, I'll make you feel better about yourself. Hey, Rivel, how many slots do you have in your trade skill depot?
That was
Oh,
1360.
How many?
1360.
Good lord.
Boy. Wow. I wish that would help.
Yeah, it lags a lot when I go to put stuff in there now.
I'll probably buff when we get to camp, because I forgot our buffs wiped when I. Well, actually, they didn't. Only on some people. That's so weird. Is it the people who came in after me?
Yes. So the people that come in after you retain their buffs, but if they go in before you, they don't.
That's so annoying. Yeah, I'll just buff when we get there.
Okay. Zog's getting invis. Samaru's getting invis.
So what's so silly about is there's no way then for everybody to keep their buff. Because like somebody's gonna have to go in after the first buffer. Like
Yep.
the shaman goes in first versus the cleric.
Yep. Next time I will just buff the sprint speed until we get to camp, and then yeah.
Yeah, I think I got everybody except for Zorgo.
All right.
Yeah, Zorgo is going to be in Viz.
Thank
When I got
Where's
everybody
Zorgo? Where's
except for
Zorgo? He's Zounds, that's why. He's not Zorgo.
Easy. Okay. Back to BR.
Sounds good.
Sure.
Ooh, the music got intense. They are ravenous, yet I remain. Pieces of the story that I don't know.
Please let me know when you want me to start pulling after buffs are done. Or Biggs, do you want to pull? I can just
can.
manage.
I suppose no matter.
So, Rad, where do you think the next big place we're going to be able to go will be?
Well, at 22-ish, we might be able to start ghosts. Could also try at 22-ish going into Mad Run, like inside the caves. A little bit different. Let's see what else. The Lycan or Wycan camp, sorry, WYCAN. Starting at 22 would be kind of low, but possible. Lycan's the easiest of the three named. Actually, Razorfang's pretty easy too. Oh, look, they're fighting each other.
I was gonna say, do we let these guys fight it out then?
Yeah, pull
Another
them
one's
in.
going to start.
We should pull them right before one's about to die.
Yeah.
It's likely that the soldier's going to live and the watcher's going to die because 2 watchers spawn and 1 soldier. Okay. If I missed you with any buff, please let me know. I'd basically mono regen for everybody except for Chosan gets Goddic Imbuement.
I need the clarity. the mana buff.
I missed you. I'm sorry.
Well, the Watcher is not doing well.
Nope.
You got backup.
Oh, hey, look at that.
He got an ad.
An NPC got an ad.
Mhm.
Well, it's fun when you have NPCs that are on different factions and fight one another. Makes it the world a little bit more lived
Well,
in.
Yeah. So can I pull that Watcher just before he dies, and then we do a little damage to him and get the experience, or?
Nope. Once
No,
the
okay.
NPC does half damage, it gets it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's a bummer. Okay.
But I mean, who could DPS the second Watcher going into the map room? There's nothing in there though. We could DPS the second Watcher. We'd have to pull them both. Here, let me just. I'll pull.
Okay.
Okay. Nope, nothing. Sure. I don't know if he's gonna come after me though.
Are
He
you
seems
after
pretty stuck
trying
on
to
that.
pull the Watcher?
Yeah, I was trying.
Okay.
I'm silenced. You got it. Yeah, I can't taunt. That's the problem. It should be on the Watcher.
So Kurgan Gray asks, is it usual that people prefer to stand in one place and grind in a dungeon like this over a real dungeon crawler from start to end? Well,
I mean,
yeah, what do you say?
no, I mean, you go ahead.
I was going to say that part of the thing that has us staying in one place and grinding is that we're kind of at a marginal level to be able to push too far forward. We push out of our ability to kill mobs. We'd put ourselves in danger. But Rad knows a lot more than I do, so what would you say?
Yeah, I think you're right. The dungeon, this dungeon is kind of sectional for level ranges.
And I do think that some of the game design is built around the idea of old school style, you know, put a camp down and grind some stuff out.
Yeah. Now there are camps with names, so a lot of people will camp. Well, they'll stay at one or two, you know, if their camps are close, they'll camp one or two named. And so there is a lot of sort of static and not as much dungeon crawling. However, I have been in groups that have done dungeon crawls, and, you know, part of that exploring is fun as well. It's also dangerous unless you have Viz. Yeah, there's some roamers around with usually packs of 2 and a couple of roamers. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
This is going to be 3.
Okay.
Maybe. Okay.
Uh-oh, you look like you need help. And Mez 1.
Oh, I got mad.
And getting the other
pre-boss.
worker.
Yep, I'm on the pre-boss.
Just checking because you had haunted the other guy.
Yeah, I mean, and the more I think about it, it's just that, combat isn't really designed around dungeon crawls like you would do in, say, World of Warcraft or EverQuest 2. Like, each of these mobs, take, like, I think what we just did was a good example. Like, they're not going to go down fast. So you could really get yourself in danger if you were moving past spawn point. So it's just kind of a different style. It's old school style. Or we're playing it old school.
Well, yeah, it's difference between an instanced dungeon that doesn't respawn and like an open world instance that does respawn. I don't know that.
Where you can come across other groups and stuff as well.
Yeah. Which is more like original EverQuest. You could stumble upon it, other groups and have a conversation or maybe have a spat about whose camp it is.
That kind of conversation.
More likely scenario.
Yup. Yeah, every time I've done a dungeon crawl in this dungeon, eventually it turns fatal because you turn a corner and suddenly the monsters are a lot harder than they were before.
And I do hope eventually the game is big enough to have various styles of dungeons so that there are crawlers where you kind of start at the beginning and you've got an event that you're working through.
Yeah. Well, there's some areas that are so dense you kind of have to crawl through. It's hard to camp.
Yeah.
Like at a certain speed. You're always going to have, or often going to have, sorry, I'm mezzing.
Those hobgoblin caves were like that.
Yeah, you always have these like rumors and stuff that spawns, and there's no real safe spot, right? So you have to keep moving or be ready to deal with an ad that, pops in your area every once in a while.
Oh, he blinded me.
And that being said, there are a few safe spots in this zone, like where we are right now. There's a little cubby on the other side of Black Rose, and then ahead and to my left is the map room, which is also safe. So it seems like the designers were, keeping that in mind. Like people are going to camp. They're going to camp here.
Yeah, and Kurgan Gray says the perception system, as it's more fully implemented, may add some more crawling opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that works.
Now they have a lot of things that they haven't implemented yet. I wish, and I've said this before, mastery points, like, put that in. Like, we can see that we're gaining mastery points, but we can't, like, I've got 176 on my enchanter. I can't use them for anything.
Yeah. Ooh, somebody's companion? Okay. Will he pull aggro or anything?
Ooh.
No.
Yeah, you tuned?
No. Pets don't aggro in this game.
Okay.
Oh, and Kurgan Gray asks, he says he can't wait for mastery points, but he says he's interesting to see how they have done Ash Breathers. A few days left. Are we going to stream it? I may be in the dark on this. Is there some new content they're adding?
Yeah, like next week or this week.
But I think it's like mid-30s is Ash Breathers. Let me see.
It sounds like.
Yeah, Rad's the only one in our group would have a tune that's high enough to be able to participate. But I mean, I plan on streaming all the content I can from this game as we get into the level range. I want us to go around and see everything that there is to offer. I'm glad to hear that they are doing a content update.
Yeah.
Oh, and thanks for the follow.
I think I switched targets there. Sorry,
Which one are you? Okay, that's
the
fine.
clumsy one. Yeah.
Wait, there's another.
Yeah, as opposed to some of the other people who have streamed, I felt like
Correct.
streaming it once or twice
Yes.
a week was going to keep us from burning out and getting too frustrated with the unfinished nature of it. And so far, that's worked out. I still really enjoy the game.
Yeah, there's always an argument like, do you work because they have a small team? Do you work on combat or do you work on content? Like, you know, or what lore or whatever you want to work on. And I still think they have. I mean, the combat system is pretty well tuned, but I know that there are people that parse that. I guess they're not happy with some of their numbers, but
Oh,
feel
I'm
like-
sad that people are already doing.
yeah.
I mean, especially because it's so early.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never known a game to not mess with that kind of stuff even after launch.
Yeah. It's bothering me.
I mean, even Daybreak is still swinging the Nerf bat around.
Oh yeah, every expansion they retune every class.
Mhm.
Make somebody mad, make somebody happy.
Yeah, that's just how it goes with
Whack-a-mole.
the living, breathing MMOs.
We're gonna have 2 here. Yep. And
Okay,
I'm
I'll
blind.
stream the far one.
Yeah, Kurgan, I agree with that philosophy. He says he's only gonna play to level 10 on looks like various classes probably and then re-roll so he doesn't lose the newness so that everything when on release.
Mhm.
I think that's
Yeah, that's a good idea. Unfortunately, for people like me, I've got too much free time on my hands, so I try everything. I like to play every class, every race, do every trade skill. Like I'm just crazy about experiencing every part of a game.
Well, I know that when I was in the beta for EverQuest 2 and I 24/7'd that. And and I did lose interest before a lot. I mean, people lost interest in that game pretty quick. I lost interest in it faster, and I think it's because it had gone through kind of a rocky beta thing, and so like it yeah, I think I might have liked it more if I had waited till launch.
And played
Before-
with a bunch of other people.
'Cause I think I got
sorry.
to level 40 and was like, oh, I have to play this game live now. So my boyfriend was like in love with the game.
Yeah. I've had a love-hate relationship with it. I initially loved it, and then I grew to hate it, and then I didn't read, but I returned to it maybe 3 or 4 years ago. No, longer than that now. But finally, like played it for kind of real. And in later expansions, it's got some really good dungeon design and raid design, in my opinion.
But all the dungeons started looking the same.
I think that changes. But I think I wouldn't want to force it on anybody. I think there are a lot of people who could enjoy it more under the right circumstances, but I think that that's a fault of game design if like you have to convince people to look past things to enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree.
Or like, you have to get through this part of it and then it gets fun. That's not good design.
Yeah.
And I think EverQuest and EverQuest 2 both kind of suffer for like the being a brand new player to either of those games that are over 20 years old at this point is there's not a good new player experience, and the new player experience is really designed for veterans to get their characters up to where things are challenging as quickly as possible.
I think that's a fault in game design for a lot of games. They overwhelm new players with too much. EverQuest does try to lightly get you in by Glooming Deep, doing that newbie tutorial.
Yeah, it does a
Yeah.
good job of introducing you to the systems, I would say, in that tutorial.
Yeah, but as soon as you're out of Glooming Deep, it's kind of like, well, now what do I do? And then also you just do it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very solo game, unless you have friends.
Hold
Yeah.
on. I
And
got
the friends
the
have
here.
to be willing to play at your level. And there's no mentoring system or anything like that. That's one thing I loved about City of Heroes and EverQuest,
Workers
is
Iron
their
Man.
ability to group with people at any level.
Ooh, boss. That's weird. This worker is Iron Will, just FYI.
I'll get the worker. We are absolutely destroying these things. I have to pull these from what feels like, the entrance.
What level are you right now, Biggs?
19.
If you want, I can try to pull a ghost.
No, we're good.
Okay.
I can go exploring other directions here.
So to the right, if you go down, up, and then down, you'll see some shrooms and some mobs there. Oh, there's one in here. It just jumped on me. I got it.
Oh, that was my.
We got another one too. Okay.
You need me to... Okay, I got 2 mezzed. Spin broke my nose with lava bomb. Or lesser mana bomb, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I think I was the one who broke it before that.
I can tell you who it shows me, thankfully, but
Oh wow, that's. I want that.
like I
in
wish they did
EverQuest.
that in EverQuest.
Yeah.
I would love for. I mean, although you can kind of see it, like who broke, based on the spell or.
Yeah.
I swear it used to tell you. There was a time when it
Yeah,
didn't
it
tell
did.
you.
There's got to be a way to set up your audio triggers to figure it out.
It would be like such and such was awoken by player name.
Or such and such is no longer mesmerized, or you'd have to find the trigger. Ah, soldier's up. He's investigating. He's aggro.
Yeah.
We need to loot all these corpses after this. As they get in the way of seeing what's going on.
Well, embarrassingly, I apparently have not logged in since the last time we played. So my bags are full. Like I logged out without even going to the vendor.
There is a vendor here inside of HC.
Oh, that's nuts. Seems like a really bad business location, if you ask me.
I mean,
I can take you to the person if
I
you
was gonna
want.
say, we need him.
That's true.
You need him too?
No, I'm good, but
How far is it? That might be kind of an
It's not
interesting thing to show off.
Yeah, so I'll show you since you're the one streaming. Let me get Invis up for you, and then you can follow me. Oops. You first. So we're gonna go back towards the entrance, and you know that rope bridge that we crossed?
Uh-huh.
It's on this side of the rope bridge. So just Zounds and I.
We should be okay with these.
Yeah, you guys will be fine. I have faith in your abilities. It's gonna go Cartman. I have faith in your abilities. Okay. So you're gonna have to climb up this ladder here.
Oh, I
and the
remember this.
right up here. Yep. And you can sell your stuff, you can cook food. One-stop shop. I'll re-envis you when you want to go. I think that has something to do with the mastery points, but it's not implemented yet.
Keep issued male boots if anyone wants on this.
Yeah, there's no buyback feature, so once you sell it, it's poof.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm a
I heard a
a
lot
bit
of
of a
people
hoarder
arguing
myself.
that was bad. Oh, we can't add a buyback feature. We don't want to dumb down the game or anything. It's like, oh, come on. Everybody
It's a-
accidentally clicks on something, and it would, that's not a consequential game mechanic.
Oh, He's asking how we feel about the invisible mechanic in the game. I think it's great. I'm so happy
How
that
we
it
got here.
allowed me to get to this camp and get to that vendor.
It feels overpowered though.
Does it?
Yeah, well, I guess I'm used to EverQuest. You had invis to undead and you had invis to regular creatures, right? But you wouldn't have usually invis to both unless you were a bard or
I
there are
see.
certain classes that had both. But with invis, you can travel. I don't know. Maybe there's one thing that sees invis. I haven't really come across much that sees through invis though.
And does it have a chance to break?
It does. I think it's based on the caster's skill level, but I don't know exactly how they make that calculation.
Well, I guess maybe the way I should put it is I would be really upset if there was no invis mechanic.
Yeah.
And I was worried because I hear that the sneak mechanic for rogues is not all that great.
Maybe. I made a set of gear for adding to stealth, a set of jewelry, and this low-level rogue can come in through all of Halnir's and not aggro anything. So
Ah.
I feel like they do have that mechanic at least partially, put in. Also, there's a racial bonus to stealth, I think. Was it for the Dark Mirror? Or they have a racial bonus to detection, which I'm not sure if that's how that's been implemented.
I know there's stealth food. I've made some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kurgan thinks that the invis is OP as well.
Now, the Invis in EverQuest, it would also sometimes just stop. I chose the wrong one, sorry.
Oh, I don't know. You can not miss if we only pull two, I guess, if you want to.
One. Different targets. You have chosen your fate.
I think his last name should be Juan. So it's Chosan Juan.
Right.
Chosan Wonton.
Oh boy.
I do like the monk animations.
Yeah.
They're really good.
They've done some good job with the animations. There's still problems with some of the animations, especially for females with gathering. Like wood cutting stuff is not it's not accurate. Basically one arm snaps way to the side and distorts, and the other arm chops. So there's some animations they need to fix, but the vast majority are pretty good.
How many different classes? Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. No, you go.
I was just gonna say I'm doing the hand-to-hand with my ogre, and he always does an uppercut every single time. Well, not every time. It seems like most of the time. Well, now he's punching. Okay, I lied. He was doing all uppercuts, and now he's just throwing straight punches. Pretty weird.
Sure you can.
Weird. Yeah, it was strange. The animation was different, and then it's changed as soon as I started talking about it.
All right, thanks for chatting, Kurgan, if you're still here. Enjoyed the interaction.
Yeah, I feel like bosses should see through invis, and they don't see through invis in this game.
I bet it'll get tweaked.
Hmm.
How many classes have invis?
3 right now. So Druid has a self-invis, Enchanter and Wizards have invis that they can cast on themselves and others. Oh, Necromancer also has a self-only invis, so 4 classes.
So in some ways, it may be that it's the rarity of it. Like you're gonna have one of those classes where you just don't have that benefit. So it's just a score. We got an invisor.
Yeah. Huh. Got the second one stunned. Missed.
I mean, that's kind of the way it was with druids and wizards to some extent. Like, you were just like, okay, we want somebody who can evac for this.
Yep. But Druids originally didn't get an evac until 57.
Because they're the red-headed stepchild of EverQuest.
Yes, they are. I'm surprised we didn't get the racial penalty like Dark Elves did.
I think my stuff is worn off of you guys. So I'm rebuffing. Yeah, to the left here from where we are, there's a hallway and there are more mobs down there, but then as you go down on the left-hand side, there's going to be another stair to the right, and there are quite a few mobs in that area too.
Dang it, 3 from me? Yeah, okay.
I got one. I'll get the other one. Got it. And you guys just melt things.
We're twinks. We've got this friend who wanted to outfit a whole team. He's pretty cool.
I didn't give you guys that much of a good start.
You gave me a lot of really good stuff, man.
I think you said my pants are best in slot.
Yeah, at the moment. I mean, that could change.
It
They
probably
release
will.
new content, so. Or it maybe already has changed. I don't know. The crafting in this game is kind of weird. Like, I mean, I can make cloth wisdom gear, but what cleric is going to want cloth wisdom gear when they can get, leather or chain or even plate that has wisdom instead?
I mean, I've got plate that all has strength and stamina and constitution, a couple of pieces
Same.
with wisdom on them. But I also have like 3 different abilities up right now that have a strength as a modifier. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's gimping me.
Yeah. I think that's what they were in the developer notes. They wanted to make it so that it was more viable to have different options for stats, not one stat to rule them all, you know?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think that's a neat, so that it doesn't feel like, oh, this piece of armor is worthless to me, even though it's got phenomenal stats in 3 different areas.
Yeah.
Those in Warcraft, those cloth wearing paladins.
He wants those devout shoulders. Isn't he a paladin?
I didn't realize cloth wearing paladins were a thing in World of Warcraft.
Yep.
If they would
Give you heals and mana per 5.
but it was just kind of like because original Warcraft didn't have very thought out itemization. So once people figured out what was best in slot, it was obviously not what developers intended.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Leather wearing Fury Warriors.
Yeah,
That kind
and
of
it always
changed with BC, Burning Crusade.
it did it very much because you ended up getting like sets then, didn't you?
Right, there were like a set for each specialization almost.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember that mismatched gear was also really funny looking too. It was always like kind of clown gear. You'd look at a peak warrior and it would be like, it looks like that dropped off trash mobs.
Yeah.
So they
And-
overcompensated, and now every item looks like, you defeated the master of the universe with those shoulders.
I blame Warcraft for all the big poofy shoulder pads.
Right.
Yeah, they definitely do like their shoulders at Blizzard. Wait, Blizzard is owned by Microsoft now? Is that?
Yes.
Oh, that deal went through?
I don't know. I'm
Last
asking.
year. I think it did last year.
Yeah, so, yeah, it was Activision Blizzard. Wow, that's interesting. When New World was suffering really badly after their big launch and epic fail on their like big reboot, the way they decided to change it was like they added great swords as a weapon, and it was ridiculous. They had like this realistic arm or like style, kind of like this, and then they put in this giant anime World of Warcraft looking sword into the mix. It's like it looks so out of place in that game.
Oh, we got a lot. Hold on.
Yeah, I had some rats there. Oh, some stuff spawned on us too.
Yeah, I'm silenced. I did mez one. I'm trying to mez others. Stay alive, please. Yeah, I have my spell graphics
Which
off.
one? There's
You can
the
pick
one that's
one.
not messed.
Is there one that's not? Okay.
Nope, I got it.
Thank you. I'll try to keep these guys mezzed. I don't know how many of them I have. Oh, the soldier's aggroing. I'm just gonna stop it right there. Nope.
Okay.
Oh, I wish this had been going on when he had asked about dungeon crawling.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Turn-based games, D&D, you know, that's really fun to dungeon crawl. A lot of
Oh, yeah.
times people have camps, and so it's difficult to actually do a crawl without stepping on someone else's toes.
Mm-hmm.
If the game has a high population.
Well, I think that a pull like what we're handling right now is a good example of like how the area is kind of designed for what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're gonna. Just because you're in one place doesn't mean it lacks intensity.
Yeah. Hey, why am I? I'm doing hand-to-hand too, apparently. Okay. Dwarf Punch.
Hit him with your book.
No, the book's too valuable.
It's the first edition.
Yes.
I could hit him with my little floating book, but I don't think it would do any damage. Just go right through him.
Okay. Let me put my dagger back in my hand.
Why does the summoner pet keep going into the map room? That's so wild.
Yeah, there's kind of a bug in pathing in this area. If you camp, there's the map room, and then there's a room that you can climb into just above it and to the right. If you camp in there, you end up like under the world when you log back in. You camp out your character. And then you have to climb a wall to like get back to the inside of the dungeon.
Buffs are fading.
Were you done rebuffing Zorgo? Sorry.
I am. Yep.
Okay.
Some chain wrists, 1 constitution, 1 intellect.
Those are very dire lordy.
I was able to finish the Soulfire part of the Paladin quest on EverQuest this morning.
Awesome,
Oh,
congrats.
Nice.
I love the way that one looks. Hopefully you can get an ornament of that as part of your epic request thing.
Well, I think that, yeah, I mean, I think it's the same graphic as the Epic ends up being. And then you can, like Vlad was talking about, doing the request to get the ornament for it. I hope so, because that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it looks like the Ghoulbane, like I've already got Ghoulbane.
Okay, yeah, you can. They added in another easier way to get that too. Spiders or some spiders.
Yeah, what I did for Ghoulbane was I went into Felwith as my High Elf Paladin. And then I stood in front of the guy who always drops it. And I personaed into my Shadow Knight and I killed him.
Okay.
And then I turned back into the Paladin.
They never noticed.
Sneaky.
Yeah. We had to hand in muffins for the Druid and Ranger epic this morning, and had to turn into a human to sneak past the guards and get faction. It's like...
Well, and so, well, that is actually one thing that is I learned today was, so yeah, I'm way KOS in Freeport now, and so, but it's been kind of fun because, you know, I just run through and just like kind of one shot everything that starts to attack.
Right.
But there is a level like 100, at least like 95 to 100 militia men in Freeport now. Just wiped me out in one shot. I'm like, what? A red mob in Freeport at level 90? This is insane.
Who's he guarding?
I don't know. I think he's there just to make paladins doing their epic these days mad.
I remember when I was helping Dave with his quest, that militia group that wanders around like cleaned his clock.
Yeah, there's 100 that sometimes is in that group.
Not cool. And I was 125 when we did it.
I need to grab a snack. I'll be right back.
Okay.
AFK for a quick pee break.
Oh boy.
Everything okay?
No, yeah, everything's fine. I was just then falling at my feet. That's funny.
Better than the Pearl Necklace combat last night.
I thankfully missed that comment. I was probably
Tell you off
there.
stream.
Oh no, I'm assuming I know.